This is really a very exciting study for us. We interviewed over 3,000 CIOs in 71 different countries, 18 industries, from small organizations to large organizations, and it provided us a very comprehensive view of what's on the mind of CIOs today. But the most interesting findings for me are, first of all, the alignment between the CIO vision and the CEO vision, the key priorities for those two C-level executives. And when you look at what's on top of mind for CIOs right now, more than 80% of them say that business intelligence and analytics is really critical to their business. 75% of them are looking at mobile solutions, mobile applications, and 60% are interested in deploying cloud applications in their environments. The most interesting thing about the cloud applications is that the number has doubled in the last 2 years since our previous study. I think there are two key things about cloud that's attractive to CIOs today. First of all, it's a way for them to efficiently manage their infrastructure, to be able to deploy the applications to any users anywhere in a very simple self-service way, to be able to manage the infrastructure as a shared infrastructure that allows them to amortize the cost across different applications, and to be able to deliver business agility such that new applications can be delivered in a much faster way to their end users. From an industry perspective, the industries that are most advanced with cloud computing at this point in time are media and entertainment, telecommunications, and automotive. And for some industries where they are far more concerned about issues to do with data privacy and security, for example, healthcare or financial services, we're seeing a lot more caution on the deployment of some of these technologies.
So now, what is it about cloud computing that supports large enterprises, particularly those that operate on a global basis?
Well, Tim, if you think about an organization that operates on a global basis, by definition, it has its employees are spread across all of the different countries, yet they still have the same need to be able to share the same applications in order to get common processes, or to be able to especially share some of the same data so that they can operate their business seamlessly across country boundaries. And when you're in a cloud environment, you can provide that access to the applications and the information from wherever the employees are. And that's really one of the beauties of the cloud computing environment.
Mobility is also top of mind for CIOs. Fully 3/4 of CIOs cite mobility as a differentiator for their business. What's going on with these mobile devices and the software?
Well, when you think about everybody's consumer experience today, the proliferation of mobile devices, whether it's a smartphone or the various tablet-type devices that are out today, we all, as employees, want to be able to have access to that same technology in our working environment today. And I think for CIOs, the big challenge is how do we provide that access in a very cost-effective and secure manner for those employees. So just as we're all becoming used to the notion of app stores where we can get all these little apps to do things for our personal lives, what the CIO needs to do is to figure out how to bring that same concept of an app store for the business applications to the business user. And I think this is the real demand that's being pulled from the employees that the CIO now has to be able to address. So, for example, inside IBM, we have our own app store. It's called Whirlwind, that has more than 400 business applications that's available to our users, whether it's on a BlackBerry device or other kinds of handheld devices that they're using today.
Fully 8 in 10 CIOs see business intelligence and analytics as differentiators for their business. Why is this so?
Well, Tim, it's 8 out of 10 CIOs say that business intelligence and analytics is top of their agenda. When you think about the amount of data that we all have today, businesses are able to collect more and more data about their clients, about their markets, about their products, and we have this vast wealth of information. But the information isn't useful if it's just sitting there in databases. We need to be able to turn it into actionable intelligence. And again, if I can turn to our consumer experience, we're all becoming used to the idea of going to Amazon and buying a book or a DVD and having suggestions made to us about what other things we might like. I think this is the same thing for all corporations today. It's how do you get that degree of client intimacy so that you can really understand what the clients are buying today, what they're likely to buy tomorrow, and how can you deliver the right products at the right time to those clients. Yeah, so a lot of the information we have today is clearly, obviously, about our own operations and whether you're running a manufacturing organization or a big services organization, you have data about how your business is running. And as an example, for our services businesses, we have an application that's called our Resource Analytics Hub that allows us to mine all of the information about both the demand for our professionals and also the utilization of those professionals so that we can make sure that we've got the skills available to meet the future demand from our clients.
Why is simplification so important to business? And what are companies doing to achieve to simplify things?
Tim, the rate of change in business these days is so great that our biggest challenge is how do we keep up with that rate of change? And if we have very complex organizations and very complex processes, it's really hard to make a change to keep up with the needs of the business. So if we can simplify our operations, and if we can simplify our application portfolios, simplify our infrastructure that runs those applications, then our ability to be able to respond to the needs of the business is that much greater. And from a business perspective, simplifying means that there's greater productivity in the organization, the cost of running the operations is lower, and from a customer perspective, ease of doing business is much greater because the company is seen as being a much simpler enterprise to work with. And if you just look within IBM, for example, I mean, we went from 15 years ago having a very decentralized IT organization with a CIO for every country in which we did business, to today, where we now have a very centralized organization with a common vision and a common strategy and an ability to support the global strategy for IBM's business. I'm very excited to have this role. I think this is a fabulous role, and I think it's actually one of the best jobs inside of IBM. To be able to be the CIO for the largest IT company in the world is just great. For the last 5 years, I've actually been working in the CIO organization and have seen firsthand the difference that this kind of organization can make. I've been responsible for leading some very large business transformation projects and working on the strategy for where we need to go to be able to support IBM's business.
What value is this? What is it going to serve and support?
I think the value for IBM is that it helps us to shape our strategy. We want to make sure that we are relevant to our clients and that we're bringing to them the products and the services that are going to add the most value to them. So for us to get this broad cross-section of the industry and to validate some common themes and messages allows us to make sure that we're making our own investments appropriately that will in turn help our clients with their businesses. And I think that for some of the clients or the CIOs who were interviewed, I think for them it helps them to see, where are they leaders today? Where are they maybe laggards? What are the things that they can do to help them be more relevant to their own organization and move their own business forward?